All right, I know I'm late, but I want to react to this video. So if you guys want to subscribe to CJack55, you can. Here's a screenshot right there. Let's hear what you got to say about Smackdown 3 days ago.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at this point, bro, it's over. Like, the issues that SmackDown consistently has every single week are so evident, you can't hide them. You can't hide them anymore, bro. At this point, it's the equivalent of trying to stick like an elephant inside of a movie theater, bro. Like, you can't do it. This is impossible to just ignore these issues at this point. Another boring, filler, monotonous piece of garbage that is shown in front of our eyes yet again. I don't understand what is happening, man. I don't get it. This 3-hour format is atrocious. You get so much filler, so much garbage, so many meaningless segments and meaningless matches that aren't even wrestled well. It's like, what are we doing at this point? Nothing matters until the Royal Rumble, and quite frankly, nothing's really going to matter after the Royal Rumble either. Like, I have a feeling that the Royal Rumble may be a good PLE, right? But after that, we know nothing ain't coming from it except for maybe one or two things. Like, maybe there will be a good feud set up, or maybe a good feud or two, and that's it. Like, let's be real with ourselves. This was a disaster, a diabolical disaster, or as Billy Butcher would say, a diabolical. You know what I'm saying? I can't stop thinking about Punk. I had to throw that in there. But yeah, it's absurd at this point. So we're going to break down this show, this disaster class of a show, and let's just go ahead and get right into it. Starting off, Cody Rhodes' championship reign needs to end. All right, let's just be real. It needs to be over versus Kevin Owens next week at Royal Rumble. I know Kevin Owens is, a career mid-carder, and he's never won, or had a long world championship reign that was amazing or good or anything like that. But Kevin Owens is far better at his job than Cody Rhodes is. He is a better promo worker. He is a better in-ring performer as far as I'm personally concerned. He has a better catalog of matches just in general. And on top of that, Kevin Owens at this point is just a more engaging and more charismatic wrestler and performer. He's more entertaining, in other words. You get what I'm saying? So it's as simple as that. And right now, he's a lot more interesting than Cody Rhodes. He has everything that Cody doesn't have, and it's just that simple. Cody Rhodes comes out and cuts an awful promo. Joe Tessitore basically sets up an interview that him and Cody Rhodes are supposed to have, and it goes absolutely nowhere. This was obviously just done to get Cody out in front of the crowd and get a good pop and all this other stuff, but he isn't actually saying anything. He basically comes out there, Joe Tessitore asks some stupid questions. Like, Joe Tessitore asks him at some point in this whole thing, he's like, what would the last thing that you would say to Kevin Owens look like? Like, what is the final thing you would say before you fight him? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What does that even mean? You're going to see him tomorrow at Saturday Night Main Event. You're going to see him next week on SmackDown. And you're going to see him at the Royal Rumble. What do you mean the last thing he's going to say? He's going to say it tomorrow on the show. Like, what are you talking about? But anyways, he asked Cody Rhodes, how are you feeling ahead of this contract signing and all this stuff with Shawn Michaels tomorrow at Saturday Night Main Event? And Cody Rhodes, as usual, proceeds to go off and do his own thing like Miles Morales and says absolute nonsense. He proceeds to talk about, I respect Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is a generational talent, and I thank you, Austin, for everything you've done for this company, and I respect you so much. And then he proceeds to say nonsense about Kevin Owens is an actual generational talent. I really appreciate this dude and everything he's done. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? A generational talent? Huh? At this point, the glazing that happens, we're going to talk about this later with Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan and Bianca. All these women got in the ring later and just absolutely glazed each other. That's all it was. They came out and just praised everything that they've ever done and just started meat riding. That's all it was. And this is the new style of promos by most baby faces inside of WWE. That's it. And just people in general. It's all about, I respect you. I appreciate you. How about you show some fight? If you're a heel, right, stop kissing up to your opponent.
And that's why I like AEW, because they don't do no kissing ass. They don't do that respect thing. They keep it one. They stay in character, and they let them know that, hey, I don't respect you. I don't do none of that. You know what I mean? They keep it blood raw. You know what I mean? Like, Liv and Rhea could have kept it blood raw, but they always talking like they don't want to offend each other because they really not beefing like that. I mean, if you're going to stay in character, then stay on it. Don't just try to kiss up and try to make it seem like y'all cool, because it shouldn't be like that, especially on social media. But they won't do that. And that's why I like CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, because they're letting y'all know that, hey, we don't fuck with each other. And that's to me, that's a good beef. That's a good promo. Versus, Liv and Rhea is really none of that. But, I just wish they would have done better with their characters. But I totally agree. But I feel like he's just focusing on the guys. But he is talking about the women, but I feel like, yeah, they're doing that. And that's why when I did my reaction video on Twitter, I wish they could have done better with those segments. But one thing I didn't want was Liv and Rhea to face up, because we all know it's just going to be clingy at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be clinge, cliche. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the way to go. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with him on that. They should be blood raw with each other. But that's why I said these scripts are just ridiculous when they should just go all out. But, everybody don't want to get fired, but that's why I like CM Punk and Seth Rollins, because they're OGs. They know what to say and they know what to do. They know how to cut a good promo. If you ask me, they know what to do. And that's why I respect both of them, even including Drew McIntyre, same thing, but Kevin Owens, yeah, I agree. He should be champ in Royal Rumble. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. We'll see.
If you're a face, stop kissing up to your opponent. It doesn't make any sense. Are you a heel or are you a face or are you a pretender? What are you? You're garbage. That's the answer to the question. But Cody Rhodes basically says all those things, calls Kevin Owens a generational talent, which is just an absolute lie at this point. And then he proceeds to ramble on about, the ecosystem of WWE is very complex. The ecosystem, the weather, the global warming, the ice cap. Like, what are you talking about? Cut a promo. And then he proceeds to say, the subvert, the overt, the covert, the dovert, the lovert, the bovert. Shut up! Cut a promo, man! What are you talking about? The subvert, the covert, the overt, the ecosystem. What is this, biology? What are you talking about? We're talking about my marine biology with ecosystems and all this other garbage. Just cut a promo, man. Go out there, bash Kevin Owens, make fun of the fact that, like Cody said for like 10 seconds of the promo, he's like, you're sitting in your car cutting promos while I'm out here in the ring with my championship. More stuff like that than just talking about covert and overt and marine biology. What are you doing? And then he starts rambling about how he beat Roman Reigns. He beat Gunther. These are some massive accomplishments. You beat Roman Reigns with the help of Undertaker, like Jey Uso and John Cena.
Well, hold on. You also got to talk about how Roman Reigns had the bloodline and The Rock. Like, don't say that it's because of, those people. Those people helped because the Usos and, Solo and The Rock was coming out to, to interfere in his match as well. So it was fair game, if you ask me. So him winning the title was an accomplishment. I thought it was great. But I do think he need to switch it up. But I just wonder, should Kevin Owens be champ and then Randy Orton be champ? Because honestly, you can't keep Cody Rhodes to be champ until WrestleMania. I mean, come on now. Like, somebody has to win. And you think that, it should be Randy Orton? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think Damian Priest should go after that title, but they say he should go after the United States title, but I don't agree. I think he should go after that title. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's get back to the video.
So what? You beat Gunther, who Gunther hasn't wrestled in like 7 weeks. He's not a fighting champion, and Gunther got pinned clean by Sami Zayn. So you've basically accomplished absolutely nothing in the industry, and you've had one of the worst championship reigns ever. So, now at this point, I don't even know what to even say at this point, man. The American Nightmare gimmick in Cody Rhodes over the last year has been a disaster. He has nothing to say. He has nothing to add. The camera's awkwardly zooming in on his face as his eyes are closed as he's just rambling on. That's how you know you're rambling on, when his eyes are closed and he's still talking. Like, there's nothing to say at this point. This promo in this segment was awful. It was pointless and meaningless, and we'll just see them both on Saturday night mid-event. Then we have Pretty Deadly with a disaster class segment with DIY. This is the problem. If you're telling me that the show's going to go to 3 hours, I'm expecting you to give time to, your good talent that doesn't get time on the show. Basically people, like your Montez Fords, your Angelo Dawkins, even, we're going to talk about Apollo Crews later, because Apollo was cooking later, but we're going to talk about him. People like that LA Knight, of course, even your U.S. champion, Shinsuke Nakamura, who doesn't even get on the show, right? He's your U.S. champion. The show's 3 hours, and he's been on the show maybe 2 times in the last 6 weeks. So you took the title off LA Knight, who's having a great reign, and was defending every week or every other week and getting great promos week after week. You take it off of him to give it to Shinsuke, who's wrestled 1 or 2 matches in 6 or 7 weeks and has contributed absolutely nothing on this show. But apparently Triple H is cooking. He's a great booker, allegedly. But anyways, we can't pinpoint one little thing and say he's a bad booker, but he's booked a lot of things poorly, so there you have that. Anyways, Pretty Deadly basically is talking to DIY backstage about absolutely nothing. They go out there. Pretty Deadly's basically telling DIY, how do you guys want us to do this? And DIY's like, yes, I need you guys to handle business. DIY are boring. And DIY is boring, I should say. And Pretty Deadly is also horrendous. They go out and get no reaction from the crowd. And then they fight the Motor City Machine Bums.
Yo, he said Motor Machine Bombs. You sound like Stewie Griffin when he said that. Let's play that again.
Motor City Machine Bums.
Hey, yo, let's play that one more time.
Motor City Machine Bums.
All right, let's keep going.
For the 50th time. The last 4 weeks have consisted of Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. Motor City Machine Guns versus Garza versus Pretty Deadly. It's the same thing. It's the same match. And I'm going to ask you guys this. What happens if Motor City Machine Guns lost to Pretty Deadly tonight? Nothing. What happens if they win against Pretty Deadly tonight? Nothing. It is pointless, it is meaningless, and that is the measure for what SmackDown is. Ask yourself before every segment, match, or promo, what happens if this goes well? What happens if this goes bad? What happens if this person loses? What happens if they win? And the answer is nothing changes, and that's why everything is meaningless. Now we get to The Miz. The Miz is now a SmackDown wrestler, and he's upset that the Wyatt Six are also on SmackDown, but he shouldn't be, because the Wyatt Six get as much TV time as I do. So, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. So what the Wyatt Six are on SmackDown? They haven't done anything. They've contributed nothing. And like I said, as soon as the Wyatt Six was teased and they finally debuted, I told everyone they would have a feud with Chad Gable and them, and that feud would basically, get some random climax match on Raw that would end in like 15 minutes. They did that. And then when they feuded with Karrion Kross and The Miz, I told you guys, one random Raw match that they'll either win or lose, obviously, and then we'll never hear from that storyline again. And look what happened. 2 months ago, they had that match, or whatever it was, 2 or 3 months ago. Haven't seen that feud continued since, because nobody cares about the Final Testament. Nobody cares about Karrion Kross. Nobody cares about the Wyatt Six, because they are jobbers. There's nothing that they do well, and they're not interesting, and they fell off. They're going to the B show, which is SmackDown, and SmackDown's quality is in the F range. So now you're on the F show doing nothing. So there you have that. The Miz, we move on from this. Nobody even cares what The Miz has to say. Let's be real with ourselves. The Miz is a legend all time. Don't get me wrong. Not a legend, but he's an all-time great. I like The Miz. He's a great guy. Amazing promo worker and all this stuff. But, man, I mean, also a model of consistency, of course. But, man, this dude right now is just a jobber, and it is what it is.
But I do like that promo, though, when he was shocked about that. And he going around asking everybody to team up with him. But, I do think that The Miz ain't got nothing to worry about. But, however, I do think that the Final Testament might come to SmackDown to help them if they ever do come back. But I don't think the Wyatts are mid-cards either. I don't think they're jobbers. I think they're like one of the most dominant frictions right now, just because, no one can stop them. You know what I mean? Except the Final Testament. But that was planned. I mean, they obviously have them lose just so they could show people that they're human, just like us. So, I mean, that was the purpose. But I do think they'll come back. It's just, I guess they're just waiting for the Final Testament to come to SmackDown. But I think that will happen. But right now, I just think we gotta wait. That's all. But they might come back. You never know. But no, I don't think The Miz is a jobber. I think he's doing a great job with his acting skills, and we're all entertained by his skits. So, I don't know. I don't agree with that, but I get what he's trying to say, though. I just think, The Miz is all right where he's at. He pretty much accomplished everything in his career. So him, proving his acting is really not something to approve, because he was an actor before. I mean, so he's killing it. So no complaints on The Miz, but you definitely got an opinion on him, though. So let's keep going.
Then we have Kevin Owens interrupts Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett on commentary, which I actually enjoyed this. Kevin Owens is a very entertaining performer. I will say that. There's very few times where I'm actually bored with Kevin Owens' promos. So Kevin Owens comes out, cuts a solid promo basically saying that Joe Tessitore has the audacity to interview Cody Rhodes, but won't interview him, And he says that Joe Tessitore is kissing up to Cody, and same with The Rock and all these other losers that are kissing up to Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes is some good guy. He's this, he's that. And he basically calls everyone a bunch of glazers. And then he looks at Matthew McConaughey with which Matthew McConaughey was in the crowd tonight, which is cool. Matthew McConaughey did look drunk out of his mind, though. You know what I'm saying? They panned the camera, and this dude has no idea what was happening, bro. But Kevin Owens basically says, I'm going to beat you like the Ohio State, beat your Longhorns, So that's that. Kevin Owens basically comes out, talks trash, bashes everybody just like a heel should, gets good heat from the fans as a heel, and that's pretty much your segment until Jimmy Uso comes out randomly in the name of defending Cody Rhodes, I guess, and then beats up Kevin Owens for a second. Kevin Owens runs away. This sets up the main event of Jimmy Uso versus Kevin Owens. It really is mind-boggling. Think about this. Remember after Survivor Series when they said Bronson Reed broke his foot, Tonga Loa tore his bicep, and then Jimmy Uso broke his foot, or broke his toe or something like that, broke his toes, whatever happened, right? How is it that Jimmy Uso did that, 2 months ago? And in the 2-month span, he's wrestled probably 3 or 4 matches on SmackDown, and Cody Rhodes has maybe wrestled once. And Gunther has wrestled 0 times in the last 2 months. 0 outside of Saturday Night Main Event. So 1 match in 8 weeks versus a dude who broke his toe and he's wrestling 3 or 4 matches in 8 weeks. How is this possible? How is this possible? How is it possible that someone can be injured and then wrestling more than you are? But you're fully healthy and you're sitting in a suit talking about Cody, J. Just be quiet, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. So there's that segment. Kevin Owens, pretty entertaining promo, and you have that. Then you have the women's... And we got a match, but I saw the graphic for this while I was watching, and I genuinely laughed out loud. Michin and B-Fab versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Is this a joke? Is this NXT? What is this? NXT is a solid show, don't get me wrong, but dude, come on, man. This is a match that belongs on NXT. This is not a match that belongs on the main roster. And NXT, I don't even know if it's solid. I've only watched 4 full episodes of that in the last 8 years. Sorry, the last 10 years actually. So I don't even know if it's solid or not.
No, it's pretty damn solid. I mean, Shawn Michaels been doing a really great job with NXT. So that's why I don't want Trick Williams to leave, because if he leaves, then they're probably going to treat him like a jobber too, just like Carmelo Hayes. I mean, yeah, he wins the crowd, but I don't think Triple H is going to use him right like Shawn Michaels is. And that's why I think he should stay. I don't think he should transfer. You know what I mean? Because I'm scared that they're going to treat him like a jobber. And I hope they don't do the same with Damian Priest since he got drafted. But I just don't know, man. You can't have Damian Priest get seen like that. You know what I mean? Especially Trick Williams, because he's going to make everybody say, whoop that trick. And that's why I think he should stay on NXT, because he could be the leader, you know what I'm saying? He could be the mentor, you know what I mean? He could be the OG. He ain't got to leave. He can just stay and try to, continue to promote the brand as it is and make him go big. You feel me? And right now it's doing a really great job, but I understand Omar has to be, change hands, but you never know, you know what I'm saying? But I just, want him to leave. But as for Roxanne goes, well, I think she should come in the main rosters just so she could beef with Bayley. But at some point, you're going to have to give her new competition if she comes to the main roster. And that's why I don't want her to come, because I don't want her to get seen as a jobber as well. That's my fear. But so far, NXT is number 1, if you ask me. So that's, you know what I mean? But I don't have a problem with SmackDown. But if Liv and Raquel win the tag team titles, you're going to see them in each brand, like Raw, SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. Oh, God, I really don't want to see them at NXT, but hey, until we get some more women tag team titles, that's what's going to happen. So, but no, I got to comment on that video and let them know that, yeah, it is a solid show. 10 times solid. Yeah. But let's get back to the video.
But the episodes I've seen have been pretty good from the ones that I've seen. So there you have that. But still, man, this is an embarrassment. Why is this on the main roster? Why is this on main roster programming? It makes absolutely no sense. I don't even care about this match. Michin pins Chelsea Green clean in the middle of the ring. So that's going to set up their rematch for the U.S. Championship next week. And now that she has B-Fab as backup, I guess Piper can't interfere. Some nonsense like that. This is all dumb. The U.S. Championship for the women's division means absolutely nothing. Nobody cares if Piper Niven wins. Nobody cares if Chelsea Green has it. Nobody cares if Michin has it. No one cares if B-Fab has it. And I know that because when this match happened, the crowd evaporated. The crowd died. There was no reaction to anything because guess what? Nobody cares. Now let's move on to the next thing. Melo Hayes is backstage basically talking trash to Nick Aldis. He's saying, I should be wrestling Jimmy this week, and Jimmy's going to be wrestling Carmelo Hayes next week, so you have that. But the fact is that, look, Carmelo Hayes now is just the workhorse of SmackDown. Him, LA Knight, even, the bloodline like Fatu and Tama Tonga, even though Fatu doesn't wrestle, he's usually doing something physical or brawling every single week. These are the real workhorses in the ring. You know, your Nia Jaxes, all these people who actually wrestle consistently. But people, you know what I'm saying, like Gunther and Cody Rhodes, who are your champions, who are never wrestling, it's mind-boggling. You wonder why these shows are so boring, because nobody wrestles. No one meaningful does anything good on the mic, and then they don't wrestle, so what's the point of any of this? You know, it's an embarrassment. But Melo Hayes is talking trash, and then Nick Aldis says, we have a new signing to SmackDown that's going to be able to see you soon. And then basically they wait backstage for a second, and it's revealed that the new signing is Damian Priest. Damian Priest is now a SmackDown star because he has absolutely nothing left to do on Raw anyways, so you might as well ship him over here and have him do absolutely nothing on SmackDown instead, you know? Damian Priest pretty much peaked with that world title run, and the world title run that he had wasn't even good. It was a transitional championship run, and everybody knows it now, you know? So you have that. And we're going to talk about Damian Priest and Cody Rhodes a little bit later in the night, because apparently something's going to happen with them in the WWE Championship, so we're going to see that garbage when it happens.
Yeah, I don't like the way he's talking about Dame. I mean, no disrespect, Jack, but I totally disagree. I think Damian had the best World Heavyweight Championship runs. It's just the problem was Finn Balor got in the way. You know what I'm saying? And I do think this is a good transition because he could go after that title if we can just figure out a way how we could get Triple H to see him as championship run. Because, you know, again, if Kevin Owens win, he might get a title shot. You never know. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he can. I mean, I'm hoping they don't do him wrong, but CJ Jack is pretty much saying up front that he's going to be a jobber too, which I hope not, because Damian deserves better. You know what I'm saying? You can't just promote Rhea and not promote Dame as well. I mean, that wouldn't be right, you know, especially when he's a former heavyweight champion, plus, you know, United States champion, which they'll probably have him go after that. But why do that when you know you're going to have Shinsuke keep his title, which is stupid. So, like, Lyra hasn't even defended her title yet. So it's just, and I've been dying to get Raquel to, you know, go after that title. So it is kind of stupid. So I don't know what Triple H is doing, but he need to figure it out, because WrestleMania is in April and we haven't gotten any matches for Lyra or, Shinsuke. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do something, you know, otherwise, you know, and it's crazy because, you know, I don't know what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing all these things, but not, you know, doing what Jack is saying and booking matches. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I hope they don't do Dame dirty, but we'll keep an eye on him. I hope, you know, this Friday is SmackDown, so hopefully Dame will do his part. I know he's not going to win the Royal Rumble, but they got to give him to do something. You can't just have him walk around and not do nothing. I mean, come on now. You're giving all this promo to Rhea and Liv Morgan and Dom and you know, but everybody else is getting pushed to the side, and that's not fair. I still want Raquel to be Intercontinental Champion. Carlito should have been in the match, you know, against the War Raiders, not Dom. But of course, you know, because Dom is being talked about thanks to Liv Morgan, you know, he's obviously they put him in the match because, you know, he's the most talked about. But still, you could have had Carlito in there. So it's ridiculous because Carlito's a legend and he shouldn't be slept on. But that's what they're doing. Same thing to Raquel. They're sleeping on her. And it's just ridiculous. But I'm hoping that Dame get his turn. But, you know, because, again, he got to get it. I mean, even if he turned heel, like, just help him out, man. Don't do him like that. You helped him with so many matches, and already you want to sweep him under the rug? No, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could be beefing with Kevin Owens. He could be beefing with, you know, because if he become champ, you got to get him to do something. So I don't know, man. But hopefully Dame will get it right. Hopefully they'll get it right with Dame, because I don't want him to go that route. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he'll get there. Hopefully. I'm rooting for you, Dame. We got you over here, so hopefully you'll get it.
Then we have Charlotte Flair is basically coming back at the Royal Rumble next week. I don't know why they would announce this in a video segment I don't know why they didn't just save this for the actual Royal Rumble, just have her enter and get the natural pop itself. But, everything's announced beforehand. It probably would have leaked out anyway that she was showing up, so it is what it is. Charlotte Flair at this point, it'll be good to see her back in the ring. Hopefully she wrestles some great matches in, her return, because she probably doesn't have more than like 3 to 4 years left at wrestling at this level. So, I mean, it's time for her to either have a championship run, feud with Tiffany, do whatever, but
I mean, it would have been leaked. I mean, either way, it would have been leaked. I mean, regardless of how you feel, it would have been leaked. So I don't know why, it's like that. But I just think Charlotte coming with a return is better. I mean, because we haven't got any promos from Becky, so why not? I mean, Becky hasn't made no promo to come back. So Charlotte coming back, Charlotte coming back is great, because she could face Tiffany Stratton for the title. You know what I mean? Otherwise, Liv Morgan probably going to go after it. And since she got a tag team push coming up with Raquel, why not? I mean, she could be beefing with Bianca Belair and Naomi until Jay come back. And if that happens, you already know it's going to go down. So I just think, why not? You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. You feel me? So if Becky's not coming back with a promo, why not Charlotte coming back with a promo? I think this is a good thing. So I can't wait to see her at the Royal Rumble this Saturday. So we'll see what happens. But, but I ain't gonna lie, man. C-Jack, man, is entertaining, bro. Like, he be talking his shit, though, but I don't like that. I don't agree with him when he's talking about Damian Priest, but I hope he don't get treated like a jobber. But see, every time C-Jack talk, man, he be speaking facts. But when you talk about Dame, I'm going to have to push back on you because I don't think he had the worst title run. I think it was the best run. It's just, Finn Balor got in the way. That's it. But I'm hoping that he'll get that title back. But it's hard to do that when you got Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in the way. So he's going to have to, push himself because, that's the only way he can get in that spot because he is the main star. He shouldn't be treated like a jobber, no way. But that's why we like video games, because we can push that with our own controller. But unfortunately, in real life, unless you're the boss man, you can't make those moves. It's ridiculous. But I think if he speak out, he'll probably get there. Like, what I'm saying? Like, Dame got to speak up because, hey, I deserve a title run as well, and I shouldn't be losing. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he'll make that a complaint, but I just don't want him to get let go. But he'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta let him know the biz. So hopefully he'll do that. But let's get back to the video.
But at this point, I'm done with Tiffany Stratton. And speaking of Tiffany, this is the new thing that we need to discuss. Tiffany Stratton comes out to the ring and does absolutely nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Why she didn't wrestle along with Raquel? Both of them should have wrestled that day. It should have been an 8-women's tag team match. I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. 6-women tag team match, but not an 8? That makes no sense.
Nada. Nothing. Tiffany Stratton now is basically rendered to be absolutely useless in the women's division. I hate to break it to you guys, but the women's division is absolutely atrocious right now. No one in the women's division can cut a good promo. It's proven, it's seen, it's just in front of us. The only exceptions to that, believe it or not, are like Zelina Vega, and that's pretty much it. That's literally it. Like, literally no one else is cutting a half decent. Oh, yeah, my bad. Becky Lynch is cutting great promos. Of course she is. But other than that, you have nothing. Alexa Bliss isn't returning anytime soon, so you don't have her to cut great promos right now. So you have this. You're stuck with Tiffany Stratton basically coming out and saying, once again, I'm the center of reality. I'm the center of discussion. It's Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. Stop. I'm tired of everybody coming out and having the same gimmick. It's the same gimmick. They come out, oh, hey, how are you doing today? Are you having a good day? Do you want some libations? Do you want some Wheatley? Like, dude, what are you talking about? Go out and cut a promo. You don't have to have these stupid, really high-pitched voices like you're Harley Quinn or something like that running out there saying absolute and utter nonsense. It is egregious, it makes no sense, and it's getting genuinely annoying. Just imagine everywhere you go, you have someone talking in your ear, talking about some, hey man, are you doing okay? Hey, can we do this? It's Tiffy time, it's Tiffy time. Like, that's annoying. The character is annoying. It just is. Her, Chelsea Green, Rhea Ripley, all these people are all annoying. All of them. Literally all of them. Then after Tiffany Stratton reminds us that she won her championship or retained her title last week, we see Rhea Ripley come out, and she's actually surprisingly on SmackDown. You know, with the transfer window, Rhea Ripley shows up. You know, she got a great pop from the crowd. It was unexpected. Cool. You know, you have a star cameoing on another show. Nice. But what is Rhea Ripley going to do on that mic? And I'm going to tell you what she did, which was garbage promos. She comes out there. She basically tells Tiffany Stratton, you know, I know you won your title last week, but I'm a world champion too. And I think that the woman who wins the Royal Rumble should fight me. And then Nia Jax interrupts. Nia Jax basically comes out and says absolute nonsense. To credit Nia Jax, she is extremely over as a heel, something that Gunther can't accomplish. I keep bringing up Gunther because it bothers me how Gunther is the world champion and he's holding the belt hostage. So I have to keep bringing it up. But Nia Jax at this point, she's honestly underrated, right? Nia Jax at this, you know, she wrestles consistently, right? That's the key with Nia Jax. She wrestles consistently. She's able to at least, you know, be there consistently to somewhat build her feuds that were largely bad during her championship reign. And quite frankly, Nia Jax, you know what you're going to get from her. You're going to get at least a decent or maybe a solid match, and you're going to get a person who's working consistently throughout the weeks. You can't count on anyone else in the women's division to really do that outside of Bianca, Io Sky, and Becky Lynch when she's actually there and healthy. That's it. That's really it. No one else, you can't count on anyone else to actually do that consistently. Rhea has 4 Raw matches in a year and a half. Tiffany wrestles like once a month at best, and that's that. And now that Tiffany is champion, we know dang well she ain't wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like the days of her wrestling one week or, you know, once every 3 or 4 weeks, those are done. She's wrestling once every 5 to 6 weeks now, and you need to accept it. You know, she wrestled last week. She ain't wrestling this week, the week after, the week after that, the week after that, and the week after that. Accept it and move on. Nia Jax basically comes out and tells some fan in the crowd, she's like, your mom sucks, kid. She's getting booed out of the building, you know, talking a bunch of trash, basically saying that she's going to go into the Royal Rumble anyways, even though she's fighting Rhea tomorrow night on Raw. I guess they had to kind of retcon that to make it make sense. But Nia basically says she's going to win the title versus Rhea, and then she's going to proceed to take the title back from Tiffany that she never lost, yeah, you know, so we got that gimmick coming back. I never lost the title fairly, yeah, so I'm going to take back my title that I never lost, yeah. And then we get Bianca and Naomi come out. They basically announce that they're both entering into the Royal Rumble, and they both basically say out loud, they're like, you know, if you don't win the Royal Rumble, at least I am, and if I don't win, then you will win. Yay! Isn't it a happy family? Isn't it a great day to be in Austin, Texas? You know what I'm saying? This crowd died after this, but they died actually earlier during that Michin and Chelsea Green, whatever thing that was, so there you have that. Then after Bianca and Naomi say this, Liv Morgan comes out, and now we are officially looking at Jobbermania inside of the ring. Everyone in this ring is an absolute jobber outside of Bianca Belair and maybe Nia Jax, and that's pretty much that. You know, everyone in this ring doesn't know what they're doing on the mic. That I'll say that even Bianca doesn't know what the heck she's doing on the mic for the most part. I mean, she's had some good promos in the past, and she's capable of doing so, unlike pretty much everyone else in the ring. However, everyone in the ring just is accustomed to cutting bad or annoying or just mediocre promos. Liv Morgan basically says, Rhea, Rhea, Rhea. I thought I would never have to say that again, but we're back again. She basically says all of that nonsense, and then basically says the fact that she's going into the Royal Rumble as well. Why does every single person have to confess that they're in the Royal Rumble?
You know, I'm glad he's talking about this because honestly, Liv should have never been out there. Raquel should have been talking. Bianca and Naomi should not be acting white girlish on each other. And I think Nia Jax did a good job. It's just the crowd was booing her, which I didn't understand. They were giving her the Dom effect. Candice should have said something. Tiffany should have wrestled. And, you know, Rhea didn't do bad. It's just, I just feel bad for her because I wish she didn't have to hear Liv Morgan's mouth. But, hey, at least that headbutt was something, right? But, honestly, this was bad promo, but it was, you know, obviously I gave it, you know, if y'all check out my reaction video on Twitter, I gave it a C just because it could have been better, you know what I mean? But I'll shed a screenshot in a minute, I'll shed a screenshot in a minute so you guys can see, you know, where it's the reaction video is located. I can't post it on YouTube because it'll get blocked, so I'll post it on Twitter in case you want to see it. It's on there, so if you guys want to go check it out, it's on my YouTube, and I'll put the link down below for you guys to look at. So, but yeah, bro, speaking facts about the women, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I wish they could do better, but I think these women are scared to hurt each other's feelings, which is stupid. But that's why I say with Rhea and Liv Morgan, it's just hard for them to talk bad about each other because it's obvious these two are cool behind the scenes, but it's like if you're not gonna get blood raw with each other, then there ain't no point. Like I said, Rhea was supposed to come back and more metaphorically speaking, catch a case on Liv Morgan, but did not do that. So with that being said, that beef was trash, and that was the reason why we had to end it at Raw Netflix special, because it was trash. You know, there was no bad blood, there was no actual beefing. It was all about a guy. It was all about a title. The only thing they did was, attack Rhea on my birthday, which I was stupid because it ruined my peace. But obviously, the fact that Rhea couldn't come back and do damage on both of them is just stupid to me. But Vince would have made that possible. But it's just like, wow. Yeah, Hunter definitely failed on us for that one. But that's why, the promo was just stupid. But the rivalry was just stupid. But that's why, people are glad that it ended. But, a lot of Liv and Dom fans are mad about the title reign, but it had to end because obviously Liv is not a good champ. She could be good, if she would have, get blood raw on the mic and get, and Rhea would have done damage, but did not want to do so. I'm not saying that Liv Morgan should get injured again, but I'm just saying, like, you didn't go dumb. You know what I'm saying? You should have went dumb, but you didn't do that. So forget about it. You feel me? So yeah, that's how I look at it. But yeah, bro, speaking facts about the women, they got to step their game up, but it's obvious that they don't want to. So kind of sad and unfortunate.
Why? Nobody cares if you're in the Royal Rumble or not. It's your job to go out and wrestle. So don't give an announcement when you're going out to actually wrestle in the Royal Rumble. It's the biggest match that gives you the biggest opportunity of the year, and you have to announce that you're in the match. You should already be in it. But anyways, after this happens, basically all of them are brawling inside of the ring. They brawl. It sets up Rhea, Bianca, and Naomi versus Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and Liv. I don't know why Candice LeRae is still out here, but it is what it is. Then after this, they brawl, they fight or whatever. They have the match. It's meaningless. Nobody cares. It's pretty forgettable. Rhea Ripley basically riptides Liv Morgan onto Nia Jax, basically solidifying the fact that she's going to pin Nia Jax tomorrow. And it is what it is. Liv Morgan is effectively a jobber now. She lost her belt, and now she's getting riptided onto other people, and it's over. And after this happens, Candice LeRae gets involved for a second or whatnot, but then all of a sudden, Rhea Ripley just basically dominates her, destroys her, and then I think Bianca came in and hit the KOD on Candice LeRae, and that was the end of the match.
You forgot about the pin, bro. You forgot about the pin. But, I mean, Liv Morgan, I don't think she's a jobber now, but I do think that this is why we need her to step her game up. Because if you're not going to step it up, then we might as well just forget about you. Because everything that guy with the sign that says Mid Morgan, you just proved him right. And you don't want to do. And I've been begging you to do something, but you won't do nothing. You too wrapped around the axle with Dom. You're too wrapped around the axle with Finn Balor. You're too wrapped around the axle with Raquel and the rest of them, and you're not willing to push yourself. So basically, you're gonna be called that because you're not doing anything. You mad because a fan called you Mid Morgan? You should be. If anything, you should take advantage of that. Let Hunter know that you're not a jobber, and let her know that you're not mid. Otherwise, people just gonna look at you like you're a failure, and that's what it is. And I feel bad for you because you should have done something about it. But obviously, your fans are upset about it. But then again, they should be upset at the fact that you're still with Dom. When they should be, you know what I mean? Because Dom should be doing something with himself, but he's not. So basically, you're just improving your acting skills at this point. Now, you are getting a match with Bianca Belair and Naomi, but it's not for the title. So, I mean, not for the title. So, obviously, we don't want to see that, but because they got a match against Meta for them, Tuesday night on NXT, which I can't wait for that. But it's just like, but what I'm saying is, you pretty much just proved that guy right that you're a Mid Morgan. But that's why you gotta prove everybody wrong. Because like I said, SummerSlam is going to be in 8 months. You better do something about that. Otherwise, when you come to your hometown, they're not going to be able to root for you because you're not the main event. But everybody else will. So I don't know what's going to go down for you, but this is definitely not looking good. But damn.
Then we have Apollo Crews versus Johnny Gargano. No one cares about this match, but we have to give props to Apollo Crews, who did a very good job in this match. He looked strong, he looked athletic, he looked bouncy, he looked absolutely phenomenal in this match. He did a good job, and quite frankly, Apollo Crews, I wouldn't mind an Apollo Crews push. I haven't seen this dude cut promos, so if he actually, let me tell you something right now, bro. If Apollo Crews can actually cut good promos or just serviceable promos, bro, in comparison to who he's going against, this dude can win a U.S. championship straight up. In the ring, he has everything you need. He's got a unique moveset. He's athletic. Like I said, his moves are believable. He's super strong. He has a great build. I mean, what else does he need? If he can cut promos, that's pretty much that. All he would need to do is obviously connect with the audience and get over. But, I mean, we can worry about that later. Shinsuke ain't getting over with nobody. He's sitting at home right now, and he's got the title. So, who cares? Apollo looked great in this match. Got to give respect where it's due. Then we get Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga cutting a promo backstage. This was funny. Jacob Fatu forgot his lines for a second, obviously. He comes out there. Jacob Fatu is basically talking about some, what did he say? He basically had to say, he's like, hey, yo! And then he looked over off camera for like 5 seconds because he clearly forgot what he needed to say. And then Jacob Fatu proceeds to basically talk about absolutely nothing. He basically brings up the fact, he's like, I'm built different, dog. Braun Strowman, you think you Godzilla? You think you King Kong? Man, forget all that, bruh. I'm both of them combined, man. I'm off the scale with it. He's saying nonsense like usual, like he did last week, talking about some, I'm taking back what's mine. What is yours? Has he even competed in a singles match ever outside of that one like qualifier versus Jey Uso a couple months ago before War Games? Like, he hasn't done anything. So again, it doesn't make any sense. But there you have that. Basically, he says all that nonsense. Says he's gonna beat Braun Strowman, but first, Tama Tonga gonna beat you up, LA Knight. And then Tama Tonga's like, with everybody saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was really, really good. Great ending to the promo. Tama Tonga is actually really entertaining. So is Jacob Fatu, so I'll give him that. Despite Jacob Fatu cutting a nonsense promo, it was entertaining. Tama Tonga fights LA Knight. There's really nothing to speak about here. Tama Tonga loses to LA Knight, obviously, off of I almost said a BLT, a BFT. And then Jacob Fatu gets involved, beats up LA Knight for a second. And then we basically get Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu doing a stare down and a standoff. And that's pretty much the end of that. They did a standoff last week. It's the same stuff. They don't actually fight each other, obviously, because they're wrestling tomorrow. So there's nothing to really speak of there. At least LA Knight got a clean win. And that's pretty much that. Then we get to Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes. This match was actually mildly entertaining. I don't think it was good, but it was decent. For the two competitors in the match, I thought this match was going to universally be great and be like one of the best SmackDown matches of the last year. But, it wasn't. It was just a decent little match, mildly entertaining. Some good selling by Damian Priest, obviously. Some good selling from Carmelo Hayes. The crowd at this point was absolutely exasperated because, you can't sit here and watch this garbage for 3 hours and just have energy. What the crowd is reacting to is proving that these shows are not that good. It really is as simple as you see it in front of you. If they're 3 hours into a show and you're not even 3 hours yet. At this point, they were like 2 hours in and the crowd's absolutely dead. What would have happened, hypothetically speaking, if SmackDown was like 4 hours? Everyone would have been gone by like 3 hours and 10-minute mark. The crowd was dead for this match, unfortunately, but the match was decent. Damian Priest ends up winning with a South of Heaven. I really wish that Carmelo Hayes would have won this match because, Carmelo Hayes needs to win something, man. I'm tired of them treating him like a jobber. He cuts good promos. He's a workhorse. He's consistent. He's great in the ring. He's charismatic. Great moveset. His presentation is really solid. He's got a good theme. I don't know what else he needs to finally win a match or do something of meaning, but it is what it is. Then after this is basically when I'm going to have to talk about the fact that Damian and Cody had a backstage moment, which is basically going to be setting up Damian Priest and Cody probably having a title match, and it was some point within the next month or at Elimination Chamber, and honestly, nobody wants to see that. Damian Priest is a jobber. Cody Rhodes is a jobber masquerading as...
No, I don't agree. Damian Priest is not a jobber, okay? I don't agree with that at all. It's a shame I can't debate with this guy because obviously he's speaking some good points, but to say that Damian Priest is a jobber, that's cap. He's not a jobber, man. I know for sure that he can beat Cody Rhodes for the title. It's just they don't want Cody Rhodes to lose the title until WrestleMania, I guess. But Damian Priest definitely deserves a World Heavyweight Championship title ring. But I just wonder, can he get that? I'm hoping that he'll get that, but Kevin Owens and Randy Orton might interfere with that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that Damian Priest get in the middle of it, but I don't know. Because he deserved that, unless he's going to be in an Elimination Chamber. but I'm not so sure. I hope he be the number one contender for that title against Cody Rhodes. I'm hoping. But, yeah, no, I don't agree. He's not a jobber. Nah, Dane, we ain't gonna let him talk to you like that. We know you're not a jobber. We know you're like one of the greatest world heavyweight champions in this generation. You know what I'm saying? So, I know some people would disagree, but we riding with Dane. You know what I'm saying? So, we hoping that he'll get a title match against Cody Rhodes if he retains. If not, Kevin Owens. But yeah, nah, Damien's not a jobber, and I hope that he gets some matches. I hope that he'll get to compete. I'm hoping. But we'll see. But he definitely need a match against someone this Friday. So hopefully he'll get that. I'm hoping.
As a main eventer. So no one wants to see this feud. The promos leading up to it, we know would be awful. I'm El Campeon. I'm Damian Priest. El Campeon. Real talk. Let me tell you something, bro. 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 Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And then Cody Rhodes basically is saying absolutely nothing as well. He's like, I'm glad to have you on Smackdown, Damian. And then Damian's like, yeah, well, we'll talk soon, champ. And that's that. No one cares about this. It is what it is. The Kevin Owens main event versus Jimmy Uso is pretty mediocre and forgettable. Nobody cares about this. The biggest story about the entire thing is that Kevin Owens was basically beating the crap out of Jimmy Uso. I didn't even check to see if he won the match or not because, quite frankly, I shut the show off with like 25 minutes left. I don't really care. So I watched back what happened in the actual match. Kevin Owens was about to pile drive Jimmy Uso on the table. And after that happened, Cody Rhodes' music hit. He came out. They did a whole brawl segment. And that was pretty much that. Setting up the intensity for tomorrow night at Saturday Night Main Event when they inevitably do absolutely nothing and we're bored to death for like 20 minutes of a segment on a show that's supposed to be doing wrestling matches. So, you have that. Basically, Cody Rhodes' reign is terrible. Kevin Owens came out in a Naomi t-shirt, which I thought was kind of funny, to spite Jimmy Uso, I suppose. So, there you have that. Jimmy Uso wrestling this much is honestly just ridiculous. I don't even know why he's doing all of this realistically. I mean, I guess he's trying to have his singles run and build his singles run like Jey Uso did, but, we'll just have to see what happens with this dude's journey. Hopefully he gets over and hopefully it works out for him in the long run. But the KO and Cody feud is dead. I don't care what happens next. Unless KO's winning that championship, I have nothing to say. So there you have that. This episode of SmackDown gets a hot 2 out of 10. There's really no redeeming quality about this show. The Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu promo was fun. The Mello versus Damian match was okay. And everything else was absolutely atrocious. Literally awful. So there you have that. I'm giving this episode a 2 out of 10, like I said. Probably one of the worst SmackDowns of the last year and a half. And maybe a 3 out of 10 just because it wasn't the worst I've ever seen, but it's close to that worst. Like it's in that category or slightly above it. So it's between a 2 or a 3 out of 10. An F grade level SmackDown as per usual. I thank you all for watching this video, and you already know your boy C-Jax is going to be back tomorrow night for that Saturday Night Main Event review. The show's probably going to suck, but we'll just see what happens. I'll be there to review it shortly after the show ends. I should have a review out within an hour or so after the show is over, so enjoy that when it gets to it. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Have a phenomenal night, a phenomenal day, you know what I'm saying? Libation Station, Jey Uso, yeet, Cody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just rambling at this point. Kind of like Cody and Gunther in their promos. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. Peace out. One love.
Well, I'm glad that's over. Like I said, some things I agree with him, some things I don't. What he said about Damian was wrong. I don't think he's a jobber. I think he's the main event to me. I do agree with him about the women. I do somewhat agree with him about Cody. I do think they need to switch it up. I do agree with him about the DIY situation. I don't agree with him when it comes to The Miz. I do think that the Final Testament might come out and help him defeat the Wyatts. And I do think that Damian's going to get a title shot against Cody if he retains. But however, I do agree with him about Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight, and Apollo Cruz, I think that's his name. Apollo Creed. Those three definitely need a title shot. I don't know when Shinsuke is coming back, but he definitely need to defend his title, and they definitely need to take that away from him. I don't know if they're gonna do it at WrestleMania, but somebody need to take that title away from him because he shouldn't be carrying it around and when he's not able to wrestle. I don't know when they're gonna do that, but they get it. They need to do so. So hopefully they'll do it soon. But right now, it doesn't seem like anybody getting, getting anything. Because right now, he's not even getting a build up. So that's one thing that's stupid right now. Like, he's not even getting a build up. I'm still waiting for Lyra to get hurt, to set up a title shot or, challenge, have an open challenge for somebody. Like, it's just like, come on, man, do something. But you wonder why Triple H is getting a bad rap, because he's not booking these matches for these, mid-card titles. You know what I'm saying? But even the champions are not wrestling. So I don't know what's going on, But y'all comment down below and y'all let me know. What do you guys think, man? And comment down below what y'all think about this video. I don't know. Like I said, some things I agree, some things I don't. But y'all comment down below and let me know what y'all agree with and what y'all don't agree with, all right? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And also, I'm going to make sure I put a link in the blog, because I want you guys to watch my reaction video for the women's division for Friday Night Smackdown on Twitter. Make sure you follow it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, and so that way you'll get to see more content. And I do share my videos on there, so you'll see that. You'll also see conversations with me and G-Man, so you'll get to see that. But other than that, man, y'all comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new, and I'm out.